Steve, there's really been uproar, a lot of disappointment and criticism of the trip and the sort of ambiguous statement and outcome.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Michelle Bachelet pretty much avoided all controversy in her press conference at the conclusion of her 6-day visit to China. Now, I was the China correspondent for many years, and of course, I've noticed a trend, and that is when you have visiting dignitaries who are perhaps pressed to criticize China while they're still on Chinese soil, they tend to refrain from doing so. So I think the coming days, perhaps, after she leaves China, could be more pressing, and what she also reports back to the United Nations and her offices will tell more. But at least in this press conference, she steered clear of controversy, and that alone drew the ire of many human rights groups as well as the United States. Essentially, her strongest comments were she encouraged the Chinese government to undertake a review of all counterterrorism and de-radicalization policies to ensure, we're talking about Xinjiang here, of course, to ensure that they fully comply with international rights standards. And essentially, human rights groups are saying the fact that she did not necessarily see or outline any potential or alleged abuses of the Uyghurs in Xinjiang was a missed opportunity, of course, to bring global attention to the issue of these vocational and education centers that the Chinese say is for de-radicalization and re-education and are not necessarily prison camps. Obviously, this is what Anthony Blinken said, the U.S. Secretary of State, in a statement. He said, "We are concerned the condition Beijing authorities imposed on the visit did not enable a complete and independent assessment of the human rights environment in China." Bachelet's visit was already being criticized for failing to secure guarantees for unfettered access to Xinjiang. And she said at the briefing that she was able to speak unsupervised with Chinese people. She visited a prison, a former vocational training and education center as well. But again, her most detailed and most critical answer came from a Chinese state television question about U.S. gun violence and U.S. racism. So that, again, will just bring more criticism from rights groups and perhaps democracies like the United States.